You know, a lot of times, we have been talking about with the delineation movement and people that come to America, or sometimes you even travel overseas, some of you, and I've done this as well, and they ask you, oh, where you from? And you tell them where we're from, and they want to ask you that question, no, where are you really from? Now, it's actually become, I guess, mainstream now. That people are finding out that we as Black Americans been always questioned about where we're from, even to the point that even the Latinos have even noticed. And I want to hear what this Latina has to say about this, but we want to get into what they're really saying when they say, where are you really from? Let's check this out.
Hey, so I have a question for non-Americans. How come only Black Americans owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Jamaicans don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Brazilians don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come Black Colombians and Black Panamanians and Black anybody else, how come they don't owe you an explanation of where they're really from? How come when people from any other country who are Black tell you, I'm from Panama, I'm from Brazil, I'm from Dominican Republic, wherever it is, how come you take them for what they say when they say it, but when a Black American says, I'm American, you ask them, okay, but where are you really from? Why are you always calling Americans dumb when you don't understand the transatlantic slave trade and you don't understand that all these people came on the same boats, just on different stops? And on top of that, how come a Black American who has been here since, I don't know, the 1500s, how come they have to be from somewhere else in Africa? But if a white American whose grandparents came here in like 1920 from Italy says that they're Italian, you're like, no, you're not Italian. You're American. You're not Italian. How come that Black American can't just be American? Please get back to me.
Well, ma'am, I'm a Black American, and I can actually get back to you. And here it is. A lot of people within the diaspora feel that this is a white country, and they feel that the only person that can be an American is a white person. They have no education, really, when they're saying that, because all these white folks that came over here immigrated from Europe. That's why when you ask them, hey, where your family from? They will tell you, oh, Italy. They may say Poland. They may say, Britain. They know exactly where their family from. All of them are immigrants. All of them. They didn't come over. They weren't no indigenous to this land. They're indigenous to the Caucasus Mountains. They're indigenous there. So that's really what it is. It's hard to, they're starting to find out now, though. They're starting to find out. A lot of them are shocked. They say, wait. Black Americans are American. They can't be deported. We can't be deported. You can, buddy, but we can't. And that's what's making them really find out that, wait a minute, Black Americans are just as American as these white folk. Yes, they're finding out the hard way. Because you remember when they kept saying, even some Latinos, hey, you guys going to be next. Next to what? Deport us where? Back to our city of birth? You know what I'm saying? Like me, you'll deport me back to Port Arthur? That's where you're going to deport me to. You're not going to deport me nowhere else, right? I say my, citizenship is in this country. I was born in this country, and I have citizenship. And no matter if I leave America and go to another country, if that's what I choose to do, I'm going to keep my American citizenship because this is, my country. And it is what it is. Is it perfect? No. Does it have a lot of work to do? Yes. But this is the Black American. This is our homeland. It is. I said, well, Africa, that's the motherland, this, that, and the third. I hear all that, but, the way those governments act over there, they're not asking for a mass influx of us to come in anywhere, right? And realistically, you don't really want a mass influx of anybody showing up in mass because you're going to disrupt housing or disrupt jobs. You're going to disrupt a whole lot of things. I think it should be controlled. And I think the African continent is big enough for a whole lot of people to come move there as long as you spread out, not all in one spot. But they're not doing that for whatever the reason. And I will find out why. I will question the African governments about why that's not happening. Oh, I'm going to do it because I want to hear it from their mouth. Even if they got to pull me to the side and tell me why. I'm cool. I ain't got to put them on camera. But as of right now, in this dispensation of time, you got to go through the same hoops that a lot of white people got to go through to get citizenship, right? Now, some of them has been doing citizenship by DNA and all that, and sometimes they have been cycling some of that back. regardless, America is our homeland. Listen, let me tell you something. I've traveled other places. I've talked with other black people, Africans and all that, and they great people. But it's nothing like Black America. So why? Because this is my lineage. So America is our homeland. Black Americans is the first Americans. Because we built this country. There wouldn't be no America without Black Americans. These white folks didn't even start the fight with the British. They waited till we jumped it off. They didn't get free on their own in the Revolutionary War. They begged us to come help them fight the British. They couldn't do it on their own. So they walk around here talking about, oh, America is our country. No, you wouldn't even have no America. It wasn't meant for Black Americans. You understand what I'm saying? Everything they got, the Civil War, if it wasn't meant for Black Americans, the North wouldn't have won anything. You understand what I'm saying? We are the original Americans that's here. Well, what about the Native Americans? I'm not talking about them. They got their land and they signed a deal with them people to give them all that. That's the deal they signed. We didn't sign that deal with them folks. We haven't done that. We still fighting for the things that we need, and we having a great Black American renaissance right now. And things are happening that's great for us, right? Much of people think that we are in the bad straits. I'm telling you, Black people are improving every day. And we make it do on the homeland that we have right here in America. I love going to the diaspora and all of that and interacting with the brothers and sisters and working with them. I love doing that. But hey, America's home. My family been here hundreds and hundreds of years. So if you ever ask me, and matter of fact, I say this much. If they keep asking, no, where you really from? I think we need to kind of check them at that point. And like, I told you where I was from. I'm not an immigrant like you. My homeland is in America. You are cool because you're an immigrant. So yeah, you got to tell them this is not a white man's land. This is the Black man's land because we built it. Tell them that. Well, why they run it? They run it into the ground. And look how they maintaining the power. They got to spend $1 trillion a year on military to hold the power. If they don't have that, they afraid they're going to lose it. Black folks, that's just not in us to be in there trying to figure out new ways to take lives. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. We're not trying to invent new weapons to try to take the life of somebody. That's not what we do. We're not those kind of people. I'm not saying that we can't fight and all that. We do. We're great fighters, but we don't try to invent new ways to unalive people. That is a product of them folks. And let me tell you something. All that they're doing is everything slipping out of their hands too. They getting so crazy what they doing right now. Your boy Trump trying to be on a colonizing spree. When you do stuff like that, you're going toward the end. Trump and them going to unravel this whole system. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it because as a Black American, we're going to sit back and let them unravel everything they want to unravel. And we're going to be good. Because trust me, unraveling of this system is a beautiful thing for Black American. We ain't got to put a hand in it. They doing it themselves. So when you hear people say, no, where you really from? Yeah, you let them know. The Black man's land called the United States of America. That's where I'm from, born and raised. My family been there for generations, hundreds and hundreds of years. You just got here yesterday, buddy, or got here a couple of years ago. So yeah, we're going to ask you where you're from because you don't even sound like the culture. We already know a lot of times when you're not from here. There's certain things you say we know you're not from here. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's what it is. It's that people just shocked that Black Americans are not immigrants, and the situation with ICE have actually, brought that to the forefront and showed people that, no, Black Americans are not next. When it comes to deportations, mass deportations, we're not next. We're cool. We have no problem with ICE. ICE haven't done us anything. ICE doesn't run up in our neighborhoods messing with us. Not doing it. And then the one time the ICE when Chicago did something, look what they did all the Black Americans, and who they were going there targeting? Venezuelans. And of course, they went and got everybody out of there, right? But how many more times has that happened? How many more? Ask that question. We ain't hearing it, right? Not hearing it because Black Americans aren't the target for ICE. It's called Immigration and Custom Enforcement. But we are American. We are American by bloodline. We built this country. We from the soil up. We got blood and soil here. So people just finding that out the hard way, right? They find it out definitely the hard way. But shout out to the Latina asking questions, because like I said, all these conversations get into other groups, and it's on us as Black Americans to give that clarity of what it is and let them know too. Oh, we are American. Y'all homeland is Latin America, and that's cool. Shout out to Latin America. But our homeland is right here in the United States of America.